Well, I've started to install the baffle, and you can see I had it upside down trying to put it in. I was trying to put these, I thought that these notches would be better at the bottom to let more fuel flow through, but those notches were made to clear this recess for the fuel indicator and your seam in the middle. But it's just difficult. The steel is flexing so much that I can't get it exactly in place. Here I did. You can see the old solder, how it matches. So what I'm going to do is put a few tacks in it here, and then we're going to move the top back a little bit further. You can kind of see the solder right in there. So this has got to all go back a little bit. So that's where we're at. At least I got it in the right direction now. But yeah, I tried 3 or 4 times the other way and it just didn't seem like it wanted to fit right. So anyway, I mean, difficult when you take the thing apart, take the end off, and this piece here is laying flat on the bottom. You have no idea. So that's where we're at. I'll bring it back when we got a little bit more. Well, we got her welded in there. I didn't have it quite hot enough at first. That's why these welds look so cruddy. Just voltage wasn't set high enough, but I think I got enough tacks on it that it should work. There's a decent one right there, and right there, just after I turned the heat up on it right there. But yeah, I think what I'm going to do now is I'm going to get some of that sealer, and we're going to kind of put it on right here around this baffle, because I noticed a few pinholes around the baffle. Here's a spot that I tried to fill into the weld and burnt through it, and there's a little hole right in there right now. But there's a couple other pinholes too. You see this? This is where there was a pinhole, and that sealer came through it and sealed it, and it's just like hard as a rock right now. So that's the idea of the tank sealer, what it does. But you can see how pocked the top of this thing is, and so we've got sealer all along the inside of that up to this baffle. So, but I had to grind away some of the paint or the sealer in order to get this baffle and get the tack welds in there. But yeah, you can see the old solder joint there where it was. But anyway, that's where we're at now. I'm looking for a sealer to put around the edge of it here so I can slap the end piece on, and then we're going to take, and I mentioned before, show you what it looks like, the end piece. You see that little flange that's bent up right there. There you go. And I'm going to, once I get that in there and I get a sealer or caulk down along that little rib that's built in there, and you can see there's a little rib right there. Put it all the way around here, and then all the way around the end of the lid. Slide it into place, and then I will bend these tabs down, which will be on top of this. And then I'm just going to do the same deal. I will tack it in a few spots to keep that lid from popping off, because that caulk is not going to hold it. You know, before it was soldered, so the solder would hold it in there, but without that solder. Put the farm around here. Disking up this field, that's the noise that we're hearing. But anyway, that's about all we got for now. I'll bring it back when we get ready to put that cap on the end. Well, I put the end on. I didn't show doing it. There wasn't a whole lot to show, I guess. But you can see the caulk that I have found, and Now what I plan on doing is taking this lip and bending it up against here all the way around, and then we'll tack it in a few spots, keep it from blowing out. But then what we're going to do down in here is we're going to pour some of this sealant, and that should go all the way around the end of that thing and seal it from the inside. So hopefully we won't have any leaks. And if we do have some leaks, I'm going to save some of the sealant so that I can paint it on the outside like this, and then we'll be able to, seal it from the outside in. So, but I got to be careful. I didn't film me putting that piece on the end of that pickup tube, but I got that filter in there and it's got a screen on it, and I don't want this sealer to get on that screen because it'll plug it, and then I'm up the creek. So I'll show you the stuff that I used. Got online and looked, and I've used this brand before, this Tremco, and I looked for some gasoline resistant, and this was jet fuel resistant, so I thought, well, that's good enough. But it's Volcom 116 polyurethane sealant, and it's supposed to, like I said, be jet fuel resistant. So we will see. But even if it isn't, I will have that sealant down around the bottom, down in the crack of that end cap, and it'll just seal all the way down around it. So I shouldn't have any leaks at all to speak of. I'm thinking there might be a pinhole or two up in this vicinity, but that's why I painted all this with that sealer. And there was a spot right here where I burned through, but I just lobbed a bunch of it on there and just kind of held it in that position for a while till it could drip through and kind of harden up a bit. So what I'm going to do is take some tape and put on the inside of behind these bolt holes, screw holes, and some masking tape, and then I pour that stuff in there that way, because I want to slosh it all over the inside of the whole end of this thing here, because from this point down to the bottom there is no sealer. I mean, it wasn't rusty by any means, and even the outside looks really, really good. So, but I still want to do that. But anyway, I don't want that stuff running into these screw holes, because when that stuff dries, it's like rock hard. So anyway, that's the plan. But you can see now I got the end on, and I got it standing on its end to kind of push down on this edge right here. You can kind of see that sealant coming out a little bit. So like I say, once we get her, that gets all hard, we'll give her 2 or 3 days here, and then I'll bend those lip over and tack it, and we'll go from there. So I'll bring you back then.